Hello, welcome to another edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at the Jazz Standard here in New York City. About 5 years ago, I introduced you to a Cuban-born pianist and composer by the name of Harold Lopez-Nussa. Now, over the last 5 years, this gentleman has played both here and abroad and has built a big fan base. Now, tonight he's performing music from his brand new Mack Avenue's record release, his second for the label. And tonight you'll see his trio perform in a very different dynamic. Tonight we had a chance to sit down briefly to talk about this brand new record, talk about his growth as a musician both here and abroad, and what it's done to him as a businessman, as well as a father, as well as sit down and talk about his deep musical roots in Cuba. So sit back, relax, and enjoy highlights of the New York official record release of Harold Lopez-Nussa live here at the Jazz Standard here in New York City. a.k.a. your brand new record on Mac Avenue Records. Congratulations. You're getting ready to have a whirlwind month here. You're getting ready to play Newport, Detroit. You're getting ready to do Monterey. You're getting ready to do a lot of East Coast states. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, we are always ready. We are really looking forward to make this really huge tour for us. Will be like a 1 month and a half tour in the States, and then we go directly to Japan, and then we also gonna play Hawaii. So I'm really happy with all the work that we are having. I think that we are very fortunately, and we have to be very grateful. There is so many good musicians in the world, and have work today is not that easy. So I'm thinking on this every night. I'm trying to doing better every night. We are trying, the three of us, to doing better every night. I'm just enjoying the time, yeah, and the opportunity to play and to share our music with different audience.
This is your second record with Mac Avenue, and this album you have full throttle gone into the whole trio. And this album, we did an interview about 5 years ago when you were just introducing yourself to American audiences. How has the American audience, and also globally, your fans overseas, how have they been receptive to the new music?
Oh, I think that I hope that they like it. I feel that they like it. Anyway, we are very interested in share this new music. It's a brand new material. We also made some all stuff that we put together for this trio, but this is like a new project with all friends. There's my brother on drums, and there is Gaston Joya, who is almost my brother too, on bass. So we met each other from a long time ago, and it's wonderful to be with them, playing every night, sharing ideas, fighting about music every day, and trying to be better every day. So I'm really looking forward to see the expectation. I have a lot of expectation to see what people think, and how people receive the music. But so far, I think is we are doing well.
That's good. That's good. You know, you hail from Cuba, and you playing in the United States. It's been a very interesting progression of how you have played and the events and the venues have played. How has America changed you as not only a musician but as a person?
Oh, definitely the experience to be able to come here to the States, to play in the States, to know the audience here, to know and meet musicians from here, is very gratificante, and I don't know the word in English, but helps us, like musician and like person, because get us a real perspective of what is happening in the States, what is about the people in the States, how many things we have in common. I mean, the people from Cuba and the people from the States, that has to be nothing with political and this kind of crazy stuff. Just the people have to be together, and I feel that the music have this power to put people together, and you can see the people here like what we do. People in Cuba love what people do here, so we have a lot of things in common, and I'm grateful to see this in first person.
Harold, I have to ask you, are there any musical styles that, since you've been coming and playing here, that you've adopted into your musical psyche, or is there any musical styles here in America that really caught your interest?
Uh, I'm not sure if I'm taking something from some style here, but probably I don't know exactly why, but probably I have a lot of influence. What about all this? This is happening around me and the three of us, and I'm sure this influence the way that we play, the way that we think in the music, the way that we think in the life. So it's good to have the opportunity to be open, is very good, and we are having this right now.
Internationally, Afro-Cuban music has been very, very much accepted and loved and revered. And you bringing your voice to the music, what are some of the things musically that ideal-wise and music-wise that you're bringing to the music? As far as your playing style, as far as your technique, what are some of the things that you're bringing that's different than some of your Cuban counterparts?
It's hard to say. I have this background from classical training. That was what I was learning at the school, and then I was like changing my mind to play jazz and trying to live behind this classical training, but then I realized that I must put together what I know from there and what I'm trying to learn right now from jazz and other kind of music. And this thing what I think this is what I think that is probably different or not. I don't know, but it's if I think in myself, this is what I want to do right now. Just like put together all those words and try to do in a different way. But for sure, I have influence from a lot of great Cuban players and piano players. I mean, like Chucho, like Bebo, his father, Frank Emilio Flying, Lily Martinez, and all those young guys that I met that are piano players and amazing. David Reyes, Alfredo Rodriguez, Manuel Valera, those guys. I'm always looking what they are doing, and they also influence me myself. So yeah, I think I'm taking from a lot of parts.
You know, when we last talked, when we last spoke, you were telling me about how very, very important the classical training was at the conservatory.
Yeah.
And they didn't teach you jazz in the conservatory. How did you really get exposed to playing jazz music and learning about jazz piano?
Well, with my friends in the school. That's why it's so important for me. Those guys, Axel Tosca, those my friends in the school. We were trying. They were trying before me to play jazz, and I was seeing them playing, and I was asking about chords and harmony. So over there in the school, even when we was not taking some listen from jazz or even Cuban music, but we was trying there to play. For me, take me more time. I think that I began to try to play when I was like 18, and I began the school with 8 years old. So it takes me like 10 years to say, oh, let me try. But I'm very grateful that I did that, because right now jazz is like my life. I mean, what we do probably is not like jazz. Jazz is a kind of many things over there. Obviously, a lot of Cuban influence of Cuban music. I mean, but the way that you are always trying to do different, the way that you are always trying to be focused with your mind, brain to do something different and special is very exciting. It's very special for me and makes me life better. I don't know. Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that, because classical music is where you got your proper training.
Yes.
Do you miss classical?
Oh, sometimes. No, really, sometimes. I always try to do some classical stuff. I practice with some studios of Chopin and this kind of thing. And I try to do like one concert a year. Last year I did like a concert with the National Symphony Orchestra in Cuba, Ravel, Concerto in Sol Mayor. So almost this year I don't think that will happen, but maybe next year, because you have to take time and practice and really try to do it well. It's very hard, but yeah, I love classical. Yeah, definitely.
Afro-Brazilian, and then there's Afro-Cuban. And what I need to ask you is, what differentiates the different styles of Afro-Cuban music? You got samba, you have rumba. Well, how do you break those down rhythmically when you're playing the music?
Oh well, it's there are different worlds. We came more from the roots that we have in Cuba. From even when we call it Afro-Cuban, it came from the African influence that came mostly from the Afro-Cuban religious thing, Yoruba, Bakwa. So this is a completely different world from Brazilian world, which huge and but different. I think that probably the two bigger musical countries in this, I mean, the South America, Brazil, and Cuba is also for me very important. So it's completely different, and then we take from there, and we, well, Chucho did before, and Bebo did, and all those Chano Pozo, of course, with DC, and they did a lot of things, and we are taking from there, and after that we are trying to do in our way, in the way that we played this kind of music today in Cuba, in the way that we learn today the roots of those music in Cuba. So from there we're trying to do in our way, trying to break some rules, trying to find a different way to mix this with jazz, and this is what we are trying to do. Yeah, I think a lot of Cuban musicians who are all around the world, that they are trying to do a new way to mix all those stuff.
What's the difference between cha-cha and mambo and salsa?
Oh, rhythmically, there are a lot of things. I mean, cha-cha, they have a cowbell who do all the I don't know how to say el tiempo, ta 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 king king cha pa pa king king, and then the piano do so there is a lot of patterns in every style. Bolero have nothing to do with and it's the conga the most important. So son is always with syncopated bass line. Mambo have something with son and something else. I have this also a cable on time. So every style have its rules. So that, yeah, you have to know all this to then trying to mix and trying to break up breaking rules and do anything. But you must have to know all this before. Yeah.
And going into that, the most important element and characteristic of Afro-Cuban music is the rhythm.
Oh yeah, rhythm for us is very very important. Definitely, everything, almost everything, began there, and then the other things. So, and for me, it's very important too. My father, he's a drummer. My brother, he's a drummer, and my father did a huge research about the Cuban style of music, Afro-Cuban style of music, I mean, from son to Afro-Cuban music, all the toques bata. So there is a huge war over there. All some I don't know how to say. Just in the Afro-Cuban religion, if you go to the bata and you just try to learn how to play the toque santos, there is like 4 years of studies. So it's really huge, and of course this influences everything that we do.
Because in traditional jazz you have swing rhythm,
Okay.
and then you have the backbeat.
Yeah.
But in Afro-Cuban jazz, you've got straight rhythm and the clave rhythm, right?
Yeah, and the clave is also very important for us. So we are always thinking the clave, sometimes too much, but yeah, definitely this is the beep that we feel the flow, the soul of the music is always with the clave, and you have to feel it, and you have to live it to make a real Afro-Cuban jazz or music or whatever.
Tell the viewers out here what the clave rhythm is.
Oh, clave is something very, very complicated. Sometimes even the Cuban people don't know where to put it. So, but for sure, it's this. Is the for me, it's more like a feeling, and make part of from there is from there you do the other things, but it's always there. At some points, clave is important and it's there. Yeah.
You know, Harold, you back this past June, your family came to Washington D.C. and kind of honored you guys. Like, what was that experience? I mean, it was a family affair. Your uncle, your father, your brother. What was that like?
Well, wonderful. We had this project from a couple of years, but that was very special. Come to the Kennedy Center and play with my family was a dream come true. Come to the States and play here, and I think that we did a wonderful concert over there. For me, it was a wonderful concert. I had a wonderful time playing with my uncle, with my father, with my brother. Share music with friends is incredible. Share music with your family is just amazing. And yeah, I learned from my uncle, from my father, almost everything that I know, and then be able to also put my stuff in my father and my uncle today. For me is very special. So I'm very grateful, and I hope that come back with this project again to the States. Yeah.
That'll do it again for another edition of the Pace Report, reporting live here at the Jazz Standard here in New York City. I'd like to personally thank the incomparable Harold Lopez-Nussa for his time. Make sure you go out and support his brand new CD, which is on the Mac Avenue's record imprint, which is now available on iTunes as well as Amazon.com and his website. Also, I'd like to personally thank and congratulate the staff and management here at the Jazz Standard for their warm hospitality. As always, please visit my website, www.thepacereport.com, for my weekly column as well as my past segments. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Till next time, peace.